The 1088 XLD I/O mod board system starts out as 4 bare boards shown here. But when assembled and installed into the 1088 XLD, provide a front external accessible cartridge and CFIDE card ports with Midi activity light, and on the rear the original 1088 XLD Midi ports, a Supra compatible printer parallel port, and an SIO to Wi-Fi modem with external antenna. In this proto system, we have removed the top case cover and front and rear bezels to show you the inside views. The Z-modem software is rather full-featured and reasonably easy to use. I won't go into too much detail in this video, just enough to give you an idea of how easy it is to use and how the basic setup works. When you receive the 1088 XLD with the ModSystem installed, it will have a few currently known BBSs already in the Z-modem phone book, but you can add additional ones. This SIO to Wi-Fi modem will also have some basic setup already configured, but you will have to access the configuration menu to add your specific Wi-Fi router access information. By default, the modem will be set to have software/no flow control activated and a baud rate of 2400. You can adjust that upwards to meet the compatibility of your wireless router and match it to the Atari terminal software and hardware, but normally that won't exceed 9600 baud and frequently will need to be less. 2400 baud is a good compromise. The first step is to load up a terminal program that can use the RVerter handler. In this instance, I am using builtin 1.21 with the RVerter handler preloaded on boot. I have the terminal program in a folder on my CFIDE card, and at this point I'll go ahead and get that loaded up. builtin by default comes up at 1200 baud. You want to go ahead and change that to 2400. Okay, now go ahead and press the return button to enter the terminal mode. Alright, now at this time we'll go ahead and enter in AT plus config. This should get us into the ESP/07 Z-modem configuration, and because we're at the correct baud rate, we get that menu displayed. If you get question marks or gibberish, be sure that you have the baud rate set correctly. Okay, we currently are not connected to a Wi-Fi. That'll be the first thing that you want to go ahead and set up. So we are going to type in Wi-Fi. Case doesn't care. And it should come up with a list of the various Wi-Fi connections that it currently sees. My Wi-Fi access is black X, and that is currently 11. So just go ahead and enter in 11. Now it's going to ask you for your Wi-Fi password. This is case sensitive. If that is the correct password, it will come back and tell you that it is currently now connected to your Wi-Fi router. We want to set the flow control. Make sure that it is currently set for no flow control or software. So in this case, we're going to go ahead and type in flow. And we want to type in XON/XOFF. Okay. Now, as I said, the system that you will get should have at least 2 phone books entries already inputted. I've cleared out everything here just to make sure that you have an idea of how to go in and do basic setup and to add phone book entries. So we're going to go ahead and add a phone book entry at this time. Type in ADD. Now I'm going to go ahead and enter in just the number 1, not the full phone number. Now this is where you may run into a little bit of an issue with some BBSs. In most instances, you should be able to enter in the actual telnet number or IP address. We're going to be entering in the basement BBS. That IP address is 24.22.120.147:9000, which is the port number. Now, most of this will go ahead and remain off by default. If you run into issues connecting to the BBS or you're getting a lot of gibberish, this is where you can go in and make some modification. You can turn the echo on if you choose to. Telnet translation can be turned on. I would go ahead and leave the PET-SCII translation off. Flow control with this particular version of the hardware should be disabled. So we're going to go ahead and leave everything off at this point. Simply press the enter button. Now it has the 1 phone book entry in it. We are done with our basic configuration, so we're going to go back to the terminal mode. And it asks us, okay, we've made some changes. Do you want to save it? Yes. Alright, now at this time, I want to go through an example of how to use the phone book to dial up a BBS. It is very, very simple. Simply type in ATD and then the number of the phone book entry. Since we only have 1, I'm going to put 1 in here. We're going to choose standard ASCII. And voila, we are connected to the basement BBS. It's that easy. Once the configuration is correct, to get online with the Atari via a Wi-Fi connection with your home router, wireless router.